Hi, Susie. How are things been since the last time we saw each other?
Hello, they've been okay. Nothing much. I've just been staying in my house like normal. So,
Yeah. Um, so I know last time it was our first session together, and so I want to know like where are you at now from a scale of from 0 to 10, with 0 being I'm not sure about therapy, to 10 being Hmm. I think I could get something out of this. Where are you at on that scale?
I think I'm probably like a 6. I think it could be helpful, but we haven't really, um, I guess, figured out what direction we're going. So,
Right. And I hope that by the time we like keep going and determine if there's a diagnosis here that we'll be able to like treat it together and figure things out. So then that number on the scale hopefully will get closer to a 10. So yeah. Um so last time Um, you were telling me about your car accident and we were just getting to know each other. Um, so I kind of want now for this session today for us to dig a little bit more deeper into that if you're comfortable. Just so I can have a better understanding of when it happened and how you're dealing with it now, and then we can kind of move forward. So, um, again, you can share as much or as little as you would like, because I don't want you to get too uncomfortable. Um, so yeah, can you tell me a little bit more of like when did it happen and how are you doing now with it?
so we just passed the 4-year mark, and it's been very difficult because I am reminded of it like all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am just I'm starting new treatments. I just went to the pain doctor on Friday at the pain clinic, and we're gonna start some more treatments. So it's kind of like, I mean, when the accident happened, I thought it would be like no big deal, and like the next day it'd be fine. And now that it's been 4 years and I'm still, having new treatments to do, it's, just really like I'm over it.
So when you say treatments, is it more like physical therapy or okay?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna be starting physical therapy again, and um I'm gonna be getting some either nerve blocks or nerve ablations. Um, so they'll like burn my nerves off so that my spinal cord won't hurt anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, they're gonna do some other things. And then I just keep seeing my neurologist every month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, that sounds very uncomfortable and not fun to go through and deal with. So besides, the physical side of from like from your accident, how are you doing emotionally?
I like to say that the person who calls the accident ruined my life. Like that obviously sounds strong. Um, but it feels like it's consuming because the pain is all day, every day. So it's just constant reminders. Like when I, you know, want to do laundry and I can't pick it up, it just reminds me, oh yeah, that's because of this lady who hit me. And she hit me at the exit to go to my house. So I have to obviously, drive that route as often as I drive. I don't really go places on the weekend because I avoid driving if I don't have to. So it's just like very consuming.
Yeah. That's what I hear you say is that it's a bit of a challenge, physically, but also the emotional side of it, kind of like this numb feeling. Is that, am I understanding that right? Kind of.
Yeah, it's like partly apathetic of like, oh, it's not going to change, but then there's also it comes out as anger a lot. And like, especially towards my husband, because if I need something and like he didn't put it back and I can't find it, and then I might use all my energy for the day trying to find the thing, and then I don't even have energy to use it. And so there's a lot of like what I call kind of like mini breakdowns, because it's like I'll have a plan for the day and then I'll try and do that, and then it's just like I start crying because I get so upset, or I get angry and then I start crying because I feel bad. Um, that it's like, why does everything have to be so difficult?
Yeah.
So I still have a lot of anger, I guess.
Yeah. And that's reasonable too with, what you're going through. How does your husband respond to your anger and your emotional sides of, when you think of that
He,
scenario?
um, my husband is a very even keeled person, even keel, whatever. Um, so he kind of will just sit there and listen. Has, he's calling right now. Um, he is, um, sorry, doing therapy. Um, he he's very even keel, so he'll just kind of listen. Um, Over the years, now that's been so many years,
Mhm.
he has kind of learned different. Like he used to try and fix it, and it's like there's no fixing. Like I just need to express this, and I've also learned like how to not really direct it at him, but just express it in general, because I definitely can direct it at him um, in the heat of the moment.
Mhm.
But he's
Yeah.
supportive.
And that's good. That's good that you have someone who's there to listen to you when it is challenging and when those feelings come up. Um, so what do you do anything to help you calm down? Currently, I'm just curious, because sometimes when we, kind of take a break and we focus on our breath or we focus on other coping skills, it can kind of help relieve that, feeling and the stress.
Yeah, I started meditating like um I don't know, maybe it was almost 2 years ago now. Um, and that really, really helps, because when I get upset, um, like the other day I was getting very upset, and so I'll usually like cover my face, but then I just am like focus on my breath,
Hmm.
um, do my breath work, and then otherwise um I try and just like pause, but I guess I try and do something silent because then I can collect my thoughts instead of just reacting.
Yeah, those are some good coping skills. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Um, so for us right now with the rest of our session, I want to do an assessment with you. And basically what this looks like, it's just me again learning more about where you're at with your car accident, with this traumatic event that you have had experience of. And it's called the PCL-5. So what that is, it stands for PTSD checklist. And then the 5 is part of our DSM-5 curriculum, which is the diagnostic statistical manual. So because of what we talked about last time and what I'm hearing today, I have a feeling that you could be diagnosed with PTSD, but in order for me to determine that, I'm going to do this assessment with you. So it's about 20 questions, but it's quite simple and quick. It's going to be a scale from 0 to 4. So 0 is going to be not at all. 1 is going to be a little bit. 2 is going to be moderately. 3 is going to be quite a bit. And then 4 is going to be extremely. So I think I might have sent you a link to that. So hopefully that's in front of you and you can see it, but if not, I can repeat what the different numbers mean and the questions as well if you need to. So does that make sense? Do you have any questions before I get started?
No, that sounds good.
Okay, perfect. So this is all related into the past month of how much you have been bothered with these symptoms that we're going to talk about. So the first one is repeated or disturbing unwanted memories of your stressful experience of when you got in your car accident. So 0 being not at all, a little bit, moderately, quite a bit, or extremely.
I'd say number 2.
Okay. Perfect. So the next one is repeated disturbing dreams of the stressful experience that you went through.
1.
Okay. 3, suddenly feeling or acting as if the stressful experience were actually happening again, as if you were actually back reliving it.
3.
All right. 4, feeling upset when something reminded you of the stressful experience.
4.
4? Okay.
5,
having strong physical reactions when something reminded you of the stressful experience. For example, heart pounding, trouble breathing, sweating.
3.
All right. 6, avoiding memories, thoughts, or feelings related to the stressful experience.
2.
Okay. 7, avoiding external reminders of the stressful experience. For example, people, places, conversations, activities, objects, or situations.
I wish I could do this more, but 2.
2? Okay. Yeah. 8, trouble remembering important parts of that stressful experience.
0.
All right. 9, having strong negative beliefs about yourself, other people, or the world. For example, having thoughts such as, I am bad, there is something seriously wrong with me, no one can be trusted, the world is completely dangerous.
2.
Okay. 10, blaming yourself or someone else for the stressful experience or what happened after it.
I'd say 3, but I blame someone because it was 1,000% her fault. So I feel like it's warranted, but 3.
Okay. 11, having strong negative feelings such as fear, anger, horror, guilt, or shame.
4.
12, loss of interest in activities that you used to enjoy.
4.
Feeling distant or cut off from other people.
1.
14, Trouble experiencing positive feelings, for example, being unable to feel happiness or having loving feelings for people close to you.
2.
15, irritable behavior, anger outbursts, or acting aggressively.
I'll say 2 because I worked hard on this one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, 16, taking too many risks or doing things that could cause you harm.
0. 0. Negative 100.
Yeah. 17, being super alert or watchful or on guard.
4.
All right. 18, feeling jumpy or easily startled.
3.
All right. 2 more. 19, having difficulty concentrating.
1.
And 20, trouble falling or staying asleep.
3.
All righty. Awesome. Well, we finished it. Finished your assessment. With some of those questions, how did you feel? Were some of them a little bit more triggering than others, or?
Yeah, because it's annoying, but I guess underneath the annoying is like the sadness that it's like these feelings are still there. Like I said, I thought it, when I was in the hospital, they were like, "Oh, you'll be fine tomorrow." And so, the fact that like they didn't lie to me on purpose, but like they didn't. I mean, the ER, they just make sure you're like not dying and then you leave. And so the fact that they didn't realize the extent of the damage and that had to be found out over time and etc. It's just like that question of like, do perception of the world or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
things I used to trust, like I used to trust medical providers, like I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust people who drive. I don't trust people that I'm with, like with my husband. If we're in his car, I can be in the front seat and I'm mostly okay. But if we're in my car and he's driving and I'm in the front seat, it's like I just didn't even go. It's just panic and like backseat driving the whole time. So it's actually better for me if he's driving my car to sit in the back seat. And then it's kind of funny because then I call my chauffeur. But I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
I think it's just maybe because I'm in the car it happened in and I'm not in, maybe that's it. I'm not in control. But if I'm in the
Mhm.
back seat, I can't like really see the danger. Whereas if I'm in the front seat, I can
That makes
see.
sense.
So
So
yeah.
is that just with your car, or is that with if you drive someone else's car, or I mean, sorry, let me rephrase that. If you were in someone else's car, would you still have to sit in the back seat, or could you sit in the passenger seat?
In his, I can sit in the passenger.
Okay.
I don't know if I really. Oh, I guess because I kind of stopped going places after this.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I probably mainly sat in the back seat,
Yeah.
just like logistically, like because of who else was in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why I didn't notice it because I hadn't been a passenger.
Hmm. Yeah.
I didn't
Something
think
to
about
think
that
about.
before.
Yeah. Um, so we made a lot of progress within this session. I know there's more to come. Um, so before we leave the first session, I want to make sure right now, and I think it even states this in our assessment, but do you feel safe? As in, like, from this experience, do you feel safe right now? Because I know the anniversary is coming up. Are you safe from yourself? You're not gonna,
Yeah,
harm
no, I'm
yourself.
safe.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't self-harm or anything. Um, and yeah, I'm safe. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I'm glad that you are, and I think you're doing very well with it only being the second session. So next time when we meet, I want to go over maybe some of the fours that you answered on the assessment a little bit more. And then we'll talk about what I got from the assessment of maybe a possible diagnosis or what it may be, and then kind of go through a treatment plan with you. Because I think once we do more of therapy and figure out like a treatment plan, I think you'll start feeling better emotionally. And so, do you have any questions for me or concerns before our session ends?
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks for meeting with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple more days to, figure out how we can help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.